Is this thing on? Looks on. Hello everybody, it's Mr. Lewis. Today I'm going to be doing our pH lab. Prior to this part of the video, you should have been able to view the breakdown of the pH scale from 0 to 14 and which is more acidic and which is more of a base. So the lab today, I have 5 different liquids. I have a mixture of baking soda and water, Pepto-Bismol, water, Coca-Cola, and vinegar. And each one's in its corresponding beaker. Now before we get started, if you notice I have my apron on, I'm going to put on my goggles, since we're working with liquids, and I'm also going to put on my gloves. So how we are going to test this today is I have pH strips. Now, I'm going to have to pull out 5 of them. So the first step was to put on our PPE, personal protective equipment, or goggles or gloves, apron, and then we had to pour each of the liquids into the beakers, which this one has to be mixed up a little bit better whenever we go to test it. And what we're going to do is we're going to take our disposable pipettes, we're going to take liquid from each one, place it into our test tubes. Alright, so we have the pH strip. This is what this looks like. So what you do with the pH strip is you dip it in the liquid and you hold it in the liquid for about 15 seconds. At least that's what it says according to this. So you wait for about 15 seconds based on the manufacturer's advice, and then you wait for those 4 to change colors. Now when they change colors, it has a scale on the back of it. 0 to 14. So if you notice, the scale right now, sorry I had that upside down. So whenever you go to do your scale, this will change, and then you'll match it up to here. It's pretty simple. Hold it in the liquid for 15 seconds, match it on the scale. I'm going to put a slight bend like that in mine. I don't know if you can see that or not. Just so it will hang on the side of the test tube. those dry for a few seconds, and then we will look at our findings. Alright class, so these are our test subjects. We have our baking soda, our Pepto-Bismol, water, Coca-Cola, and our vinegar. So if you look at our scale, I also put a one that has not been in any liquid, just so you could get an idea. So if you look, there's different colors. The colors changed as they sat in the liquids. So if we look at our scale, we have to match up each one to the scale. So if we start with our baking soda and start from the 7 in the middle, we can see that our baking soda probably best fits around the 8. So I'm going to put our baking soda as an 8. Now our Pepto-Bismol, if you notice there's some dark blue edges around that orange. So I'm going to say that we didn't let this one sit long enough. So I'm going to go off the dark blue and not the orange that's in the middle. And I'm going to say that this is probably, I'm going to say probably around a 10 on our scale. Now if we take our water, water is supposed to be 7 if it doesn't have any minerals or anything in it. However, ours turned out to be a little, there's a little bit more of a base in there than an acid, so it's probably going to fit somewhere between a 7 and an 8. Then we have our Coca-Cola. So Coca-Cola is a little bit acidic, because moving from the 7, it looks like it could go into the 6. Just a little bit. So Coca-Cola is a little bit more acidic than water. And then that brings us back to our vinegar. And I don't remember what we said our vinegar was. I believe it's probably somewhere between a 4 and maybe a 5. Alright, baking soda, Pepto-Bismol, water, Coca-Cola, vinegar. So you need to place each one of those on the 0 to 14 scale on the pH scale quiz. And that is the end of this lesson. Alright everybody, that's it for me for this lesson. I will see you next week. Hope you have a great weekend. And I'm going to get out of here. See you guys later.